I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Hey guys, welcome to HipHughes History. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready to do the teaching. You ready to do some learning? Because we're going to take Bill Clinton's impeachment and we're going to cook it up nice and toasty for you, and you're not going to feel creepy, I promise you. But if you ever wondered why Bill Clinton got impeached, you found the right video lecture. Middle school, high school, college, cray-cray on the internet. I think that we're going to do some of the learning right now. So sit back and relax, giddy up. Here it comes. Here comes the learning. Alright, so Bill Clinton's impeachment is really like 5 or 6 scandals rolled up in one, and we're not going to explain each one because your brain would implode. But basically, in the beginning of his presidency, he became investigated quite quickly by independent counsel Kenneth Starr. And Janet Reno had originally named a special prosecutor, but that special prosecutor was replaced when Congress passed a law reforming the special prosecutor process, and it became a very hardcore Republican, Kenneth Starr, former Solicitor General for, I think, Bush. And he's going to go after Clinton like with an axe for like 7 years. And some of the early investigations involved something called Travelgate in early '93, the improper firings of some long-term employees in the travel agency wing of the White House, and was replaced by some special interests from Arkansas, yada, yada, yada. Another one was the suicide of Vince Foster. Vince Foster worked for Clinton in the Justice Department, and he was also involved in something called Whitewater. Whitewater was a land dealing company that Bill Clinton was being investigated for, kind of using it improperly to make money down in Arkansas. And Vince Foster had just filed some paperwork in terms of tax reform, tax papers, and then he killed himself in a Washington park. And then there was some questions about whether Bill Clinton and the White House had gone into Vince Foster's papers and dug some papers out, so there's an investigation there. And there's also an investigation that's starting with Paula Jones, and Paula Jones was a employee in Arkansas for the governor, and it was charged that she was sexually harassed, and that the Arkansas State Police had brought her to Bill Clinton's hotel room, and he was like, "Hey, baby," and she was all like, "Ooh," and that became a civil lawsuit, which later will eventually really lead to the perjury charges. It's crazy, man. You can't make this up. In 1997, I blame the Supreme Court for 9/11. Wow. Because it was them who basically ruled unanimously in, I think it was Clinton versus Jones, or Jones versus Clinton, you can Google it, that the president, sitting president, could be civilly charged or civilly investigated for things that he had done before he became president. So in my mind, I'm always thinking, bad idea. You know, I understand the president's not above the law, but can we do the harassment lawsuit when he gets out of office? A little busy. Just a little busy, you know. Terrorism, Al-Qaeda, war, famine, foreign policy. But we have to worry about, you know, giving testimony in all of these court cases. That's another debate, I guess. But all of these things fall under the umbrella of Kenneth Starr. I keep pointing like he's going to be there. He better be there. So this is dogging Clinton for years and years and years. And finally, after the '97 Supreme Court decision, now that lawsuit, the Paula Jones lawsuit, can take place. So Bill Clinton is asked to give his testimony under oath in this civil lawsuit about sexual harassment that stems back to a 1991 incident in a hotel. And meanwhile, Kenneth Starr is compiling what's called the Starr Report about all of these different issues that he's going to present to Congress soon enough in 1998. So this is really hitting the fan like 97, 98. So here we go. Let's see what Bill Clinton did wrong in terms of, now Monica Lewinsky dresses stained. Ah! Alright, so now Bill Clinton's sitting there under oath in like an Arkansas state civil lawsuit trial, and they begin asking him questions about other possible sexual improprieties that he has done throughout his life. And they must have known somehow that he was having this sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. And Monica Lewinsky is basically an intern. Later she'll work in the Pentagon. She works basically in Washington, D.C., in the executive branch. And she's a very important central star character in all of this. So when they ask, and they had deposed Monica Lewinsky in this civil lawsuit, and she denied any type of things going on with Bill Clinton. She lied. But then they asked Bill Clinton, are you having sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky? And he said, there is nothing going on between us. There is nothing going on between us. So, this is what it comes down to. The word is. Talk about technocratic word nonsense. Does is mean never has been? Because if it means I have never been in a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky, then he's a liar. But if is means now, like there is none, there is no sexual relationship going on, then he's telling the truth. So that literally becomes the perjury charge right there that we're going to impeach the president over. So in 1999, and look, he was having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. He goes on to tell the American people, I'm not having sexual relations with her, I'm not having an affair. He is, he's a liar, our band's on fire, no doubt. Meanwhile, and we got to wrap this baby up because this could go on forever, but Linda Tripp, who's another major player in this, I don't know if she has an axe to grind or if she thinks she's doing her patriotic duty or it's a political thing, but she starts chumming up to Monica Lewinsky in the workplace, and Monica Lewinsky starts singing like a canary. And it was Linda Tripp who convinced her to keep evidence that the sexual relationship had gone on. Let's just say dress stain. And if you could use your imagination, that's probably the creepy border that Hughes is going to walk up to right now. Cigar. But basically, now Kenneth Starr has testimony, has a witness, has taped conversations showing that Bill Clinton perjured himself. And then he's also going to charge him with obstruction of justice because he is getting other people to lie for him, saying that they've never seen anything and maybe they had. So in 1998, there is a election, November, and oddly enough, the Democrats picked up 5 seats in the middle of all of this scandal. And I think it's important to say out loud that, you know, the House Republican leadership has a lot to do with this. This is Newt Gingrich and the Contract with America and these new House Republicans, and they're very ideological, and it's a very aggressive relationship they have with the president. So you have to ask yourself the question of what's an impeachable offense? What do we want to do to kick out a president? What do they have to do to get kicked out? And that's, you know, for comments below and for you to figure out on your own. But nevertheless, by I think 5 or 6 votes in 1998, after the election, the congressional elections, but before the New Democrats took their seats, they vote to impeach. And remember, it's a simple majority to impeach. It ends up being perjury and obstruction of justice. So now let's go to the Senate, all right? The Senate's right there. I'm just going to pick up the Senate, throw the Senate at you. So in the Senate, and I think this is important pragmatically to kind of sink your teeth into, you need 2/3 to convict. And it was controlled by Senate Democrats, so they were never going to remove the president. So it asks you about, I guess, the point of all of this. $70 million for the Starr Report, a president being dogged consistently by these investigations, and perhaps, you know, you believe that these investigations were required in checks and balances, but nevertheless, that's going to take away from his ability to do the job, whether you're a Republican in office or you're a Democrat in office. If you have independent and investigative arms reaching into you and kind of punching you in the head for 4 years continuously, it's going to make it hard to do your job. So I think we as a country have to ask that question of whether this is a good thing for America or a bad thing. But on the charges, right, the Senate votes 55 to 45 in terms of the perjury charges, and they split evenly 50-50 on the obstruction of justice charges. But it don't matter because you need 2/3, a supermajority. The founders are the intention of the Constitution is that if you're going to remove a president, it is going to be for non-political reasons. It's going to be because he's on the 7-Eleven feed holding up the store with a gun. Maybe less than that, but whatever. So that's why Clinton was impeached, and that's why he was found not guilty. All right, so there we go. Bill Clinton's impeached. He's not removed. Hopefully you learned a little bit about why. But at the end of the day, there's probably 2 or 3 major effects or consequences that we want to mention. One of them would be, you know, asking yourself the question about being in this perpetual investigative mode, that we're always, as a political party, looking to get the other guy. for Congress to get the president, and certainly there's oversight functions, but if it becomes just a matter of being a political animal, and that's what you're expected to do, then it's probably not the best thing for democracy and for the republic. I also think that it probably took some of the energy of the Clinton administration away from other things that should have been putting that energy into. I'm not going to say 9/11 happened because of this, but certainly his eye is off the ball. And we can blame Clinton for that, you can blame the investigation for that, but if we're doing attention suckage into this scandal, then certainly as a nation we're not focusing like a laser beam on some things we probably should have been focusing on. I would say the same thing about the House. The House is spending enormous resources and enormous bureaucratic tools to run this impeachment and trial. Maybe they should have been putting their energy a little bit more into terrorism budgets and things like that. And I think finally the third effect would probably be the 2000 election. It was so close to the 2000 election that I think Al Gore was a little bit, scaredy cat. He was scaredy cat of kind of wrapping his arms around Bill Clinton, and he distanced himself, and I think that he lost a tremendous advantage that Bill Clinton brought in terms of having Southern roots and having an economic policy that many Americans favored at the time, and really showing success in terms of economic growth and yada yada yada. Hughes, you talk too much. There you go, guys. Why was Bill Clinton impeached? Now you can make it through that next dinner party conversation and not feel like a dummy. Make sure you check the links below. Lots of other great EDU channels that you should be checking out. And seriously, you need to subscribe because you could win a pony. A pony. You can even pick the color of the pony. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Where attention goes, energy flows. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome to HipHughes History. How exciting are we going to do this nice and special for you, Bill Clinton's impeachment? All right, I want to keep this under 5 minutes. I don't think if it's humanly... travel agency, that's another lecture, right? After that, whether these people were fired for financial impropriety. Make sure that you check the links below. Lots of other EDU, lots of other